A lot of people feel that people that go learn skills are people that don't have mind for education, or they don't have the finance to educate themselves, or they feel education is a scam. Would you say that someone who is educated or who is not educated does not really need a skill?
Presently, I have most of my workers. Most of them are graduates, and some of them actually are still going to school. I actually accept everybody, but it's best for those that have education. I accept everybody.
People going broke and all that. Can vocational skills, fill in that gap so that people don't, go broke, become poor, and, just cover the poverty, ratio, right?
Yes, very, very well. It's possible. If you can have this boldness, determination to go into one and give your best in it, you will definitely come out with results. And there's money in all those skills.
It's not just about learning the skill. You have to have the mind to make business out of it.
Exactly.
I don't know what I like. We don't talk about people going to things they have a passion for. They are telling you, so people in this situation, how do we help them? How can they decide what exactly to go and acquire as a vocation?
Sometimes we don't need to wait for them to come.
Exactly.
We just have to go to them and see how we can help them. Most of our youths today, they don't want to work. They don't want to do anything stressful. They just want to sit at home and then get it. And it doesn't work like that. The Bible said, whoever is in haste to make success is not innocent.
After school, what's next? That's the question on the mind of every Nigerian graduate that finished school and is in search of a job. So in today's episode, we're going to be talking about the effectiveness of vocational skills as in regard of coping unemployment in Nigeria. Welcome to Lyte Africa, where we share with you entertaining, inspiring, and educating content that would help you live a better life. My name is Andrea Elizabeth, and on today's show, I have an amazing co-host who will be shedding more light and insight on this topic, and also a guest who is a shoemaker. I think he has a lot of experience in shoemaking. He will be telling us how these skills can help Nigerians get out of unemployment, especially for the youths and the graduates. Welcome back to the show. And Mr. Kennedy, you're welcome.
Hey, what's up? What's up? My name is Kayon Kennedy, and we're about to educate the people right now here. Talking about how the effectiveness of acquiring vocational skills and how this can help reduce because unemployment is a great menace in the society right now, and then we have to do something about it like yesterday. And so that's what we're discussing today. And with our guest who is here, let's welcome our guest. Come on. We're talking about Mr. Francis Moses, who is an entrepreneur. Wow. And, he has gone through the rigors of becoming an entrepreneur and, employing himself. And he'll be able to tell us one or two things that we would, have to imbibe and, learn from.
And he's also looking like the CEO himself.
Like from head to toe, he's spelling CEO. How are you doing, Mr. Francis?
Yeah, I'm fine.
So how has the business parts of your skill been like? Because when it comes to skills, a lot of people have skill, but they don't know the business part of having a skill. How has it been for you?
Okay. First of all, I'll start by introducing myself specially. My name is Moses, and I'm the CEO of Dynamic Venture. So that's the name of my company. Talking about impacting skills like that. I mean, I've been in this stuff for a couple of years now. Let me say some 20 years now, and I've been in it.
Wow,
so,
that's long.
But okay, sorry to interrupt you. Like we said, what we want to discuss about is how to curb unemployment. So, first of all, I want you to talk about your story. Did you go into what you're into today because of unemployment, or it's a dream that you've always had?
Right from while I was a kid, I actually started learning this thing from while I was in primary school. So it has really been a thing. I'm so creative right from when I was right from when I was a kid, rather. So, my parents would see me drafting things like all those carton for shoes. So they just thought, this guy should have this talent for cobbling. So they took me into it, and I started learning from there. And since then, I think
so
I've been.
We could say that your parents was one of the major push you had.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's amazing.
So since then, I think I've been at it, and it has been from glory to glory. I've been making progress with it, actually.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Exactly.
That's amazing. You know, when it comes to learning a skills,
Okay.
a lot of people feel that people that go learn skills are people that don't have mind for education, or they don't have the finance to educate themselves, or they feel education is a scam.
Okay.
As a person who is into this business of teaching people how to make shoe, would you say that someone who is educated or who is not educated does not really need a skill?
No, no, no. You know, right presently, I have most of my workers. Most of them are actually
Graduate.
most of them are graduates, and some of them actually are still going to school. Yeah, so I don't really welcome non-educational people, but though I actually accept everybody. But it's best for those that have education, because to relate with people these days,
Wow, that's
you know,
good.
you need education,
Exactly.
because without education, you can't just they will look at you as a commoner. Yes, so in fact, I accept everybody.
I
Whether
love
you
that
are-
part. I love that
Exactly.
part. Making them understand that the fact that you're educated does not mean you shouldn't learn a
Exactly,
skill.
that's just
And
it.
because you're learning a skill
Skills.
doesn't really mean that you shouldn't be educated.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Mr. Kennedy, what do you have to say about this?
In fact, thinking about it, I just realized the job of the state is to provide employment for its citizens. You know, and I realized not really everybody can, want to become an entrepreneur, even if they have the chance to. Not everybody wants to. Some people just want to have their 9 to 5 and have their peace. Get
Peace of
So yeah, but unfortunately, the job isn't going round the way it should, no matter what certificate it is that you have. So what I want to ask you is it possible that the vocational skills can help people, can cover the gap between the lack of job, you understand, and people going broke and all that? Can vocational skills, fill in that gap so that people don't, go broke, become poor, and, just cover the poverty, ratio right now?
Yes, very, very well. It's possible. Like, we have a lot of skills, a lot of vocational work out there. I mean, the thing is, if you can have this boldness, determination to go into one and give your best in it, definitely you will definitely come out with results. And there's money in all those skills. You know, like, for instance, I normally I come up with this idea back then. Let me give a little bit of my story. When I actually wanted to get my own office, my own shop, where I make shoes. Then I had nothing, because when I was done with school, I had nothing. So I had to come up with this idea. I would go to where they sell the materials and purchase those materials, and make sure I go online and look at what is trending as at that time. And I
that's good.
try and construct them, and I take it to some advanced area, and then showcase it. And from there, I actually made sales, and I started raising money from there. I mean, good amount of money. To the extent I actually got myself a shop, and then I started getting my equipment, and that was how I became a factory today. And today I actually have my own factory, and I'm the CEO, and I have a lot of people working under me.
Wow.
So we could,
That's fantastic.
from your story, we could tell that it's not just about learning a skill. You
Yeah.
have to have the mind
Exactly.
to make business out of it.
Exactly. That's
Because
just
we
it.
have a lot of people who have learnt a lot of skills. I have someone that learns 1, 2, 3, not more than 5 skills, but is not making business out of this thing. So
Yeah.
the person has to be creative. He has to
Exactly.
be business minded to be able to work out money. The fact that we are always even eager to make money
Okay.
is the funny part for Nigerians, especially the youths. We are eager to make money. You go online these days, you hear this app where you do like this, you get $1. When you do like this, you get $2 and all that. I think the major cause of unemployment is not even the government not providing job.
Okay.
It's the mindset of Nigerian youths.
Exactly.
We want to make this money. We are in a haste
Haste
to
to
make
the
money. Like he said, you've been doing this business for the past 20 years.
exactly.
And I believe for the first 1 to 5 years, you didn't make that much. You
Would have
didn't
been
even.
tough.
That's what a lot of youths don't want to go through today. They
Exactly.
don't want to go through that stress. Let's start making the money. Now. Let the money just
Like
dey
magic.
enter.
Sharp,
Just
sharp.
a drop. And I think that's where youths are failing it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I don't think the government is the major problem for unemployment. It's just the youths. The
It's
way
just
they
that
see
they
things.
have their own problem, and then because of course we can't rely entirely on the government, so they have their own problem, and the people also have their own problem. But what you get to prove is that no matter what the government thinks or no matter what they do, if you want to get yourself out of that situation,
You
you can.
would.
That's it.
And
That's
that was
just the
what
thing.
he just
That's
narrated. In
what
fact,
that
his story is
exactly.
more inspiring
Very
for the
inspiring.
fact that I don't have money to do this business.
Exactly.
And I don't want to beg people to help me.
Uh-huh.
And that's one belief I have. I don't depend on people, because at the end of the day, when you make it, you hear, now me make and be waiting in bill. I don't even want that. So he said
Exactly.
he was able to sit down and say, okay, let me just maybe one pair or two pair, showcase it where people, and that's another thing, where you showcase your skill
Exactly.
matters a lot.
Matters a lot.
The marketing part of
So
it.
what would you tell us about the business part of your skills?
Okay. You know, the thing is, first of all, I have this mentality that I don't want to see capital as a challenge
Okay.
when it comes to business. The point is, when I have this thing in my mind, I want to get it, I want to actualize it, and I want to get it done. I just go straight to it, and then go and make findings. For instance, when I wanted to start the stuff, you know, I actually worked in a factory. I've done a lot, so I skipped that part. I didn't say anything about that. But I actually worked in a factory where I was being paid a token, you know. But the point is, the people there were actually using me like a slave. I was being used like a slave, you know. I mean, that was what even motivated me. Come on, I spoke to myself. Come on, you have a skills, you learn something, and you are good at it.
Yeah.
So one fateful day, I mean, I was working, and I mean, what I was doing, the boss was not pleased with it. I mean, I was giving my best, but it seems
He's
not
not
to be enough.
satisfied with
Wasn't good enough.
everything.
So he kept shouting and I said, "What is this? Are you yelling at me like this? As if I'm not doing
Anything.
the job. Of course, I'm trying my best." And he keeps shouting. It got done on me. I said, "Whoa, I'm tired." Like while the work was going on, I just went and took my stuff and then went to the
clocked
bathroom
out.
and then I clocked out. That was how I resigned. And I made up my mind that I would never work in a factory again. If this is a factory, I can actually come up with mine. Because the person that owned this one doesn't have two heads. So that was how I came up with this idea and I started it. It was a gradual, though it wasn't really easy. It was kind of tough, but I was at it and I didn't give up. I was determined to be who I am today, and I'm still heading towards somewhere, and I definitely will get there.
So we have to get
Yeah.
to that point where the pain point, where we just feel like, oh my, I got to do something.
Enough is enough.
It is enough. And I feel unemployment is not even just about people that don't have jobs.
Okay.
There are some people that still work, but they feel unemployed.
They feel.
Or they are unemployed. They are working, but to them, they are unemployed. Just imagine somebody working, I'm doing my best. Just like he said, he's
Yeah.
putting in effort to make sure that,
and it's
okay,
not appreciated.
but it's not appreciated. You feel like, is it not better I'm not even working than going through this
Than going
stress?
through this stress.
So
Wow.
unemployment, for me, to my own knowledge, I feel is not even about you not having a job. Is you not even knowing what to do as a person. Because if he had not made up his mind and say, okay, the energy I'm putting in here, if I
Yeah.
put it to what I have learned,
Exactly.
I will do something
I'll
better.
do better. I'll do better. But then I want to talk about the people who, there are some other people, they are unemployed at this point. They don't have anything doing, but they also want to go into this, I would call it a rave of vocational skill, acquisition. So, but they are confused. Like, I really do not know what I want to go into. I don't know what I like. We normally talk about people going into things they have a passion for.
Yes.
They are telling you they don't
I
know
don't even
what
have
they
passion
have a
for anything.
So people in this situation, how do we help them? How can they decide what exactly to go and acquire as a vocation?
One of my worker. So I called him. I said, "Come on. I mean, you can't just sit doing nothing. I mean, if you look around today, you see we have a lot of graduates that don't have anything doing. They just finish school and then went for their youth services and then come back and then sit at home. I mean, you just can't. You don't want to be like them. There's an opportunity for you here. Why don't you come and enroll here and start doing something? I mean, okay, I gave him clue on how I make money. I said, okay, just imagine, look at your colleague. I mean, ask them. I called on them. I said, how much you make a day? I mean, I'm talking about myself now. How much you make a day?
Yeah.
And then that one told him, I make so amount. They're like, wow, they're making money here. So if you join them and then you get this knowledge, of course you make same money. And you don't always have to depend on your parents for some little things and stuff like that.
Exactly.
So why don't you just come and, so that was how I was able to persuade him. And then, I mean, he's happy. He's happy today. But then he didn't know what to do. But I actually called him and then I spoke to him and I gave him the ideas and I encouraged him. And then today he's actually happy working with me. So sometimes we don't need to wait for them to come.
Exactly.
We just have to go to them and see how we can help them.
I think this has to do with the whatever opportunity you find out there. Just take advantage of it. Yes. You will discover yourself along the way. Instead of waiting to decide which one is the right one.
The one I want to.
There is no right one. You just, whatever opportunity you get, just, go into it and then you will discover yourself along the way. I think that's just what it is.
Another thing is working with the happenings around. It's just like now we know fashion is trending. Technology, in fact,
Exactly.
is on the high rank.
Everything.
So it's you knowing what is trending and being able to fix yourself somewhere you know you are able to. Now your capacity matters. If you are not if you are not capable of doing AI thing, you go and put your body,
Or
you will
coding,
cover, you
all those kind
will
of
get
things,
frustrated.
man.
So you look as if, oh, why am I? It's like I wasted my 5 years or 10 years
Exactly.
learning these skills and nothing is coming out of it. So I feel know your capacity, know what you're able to do. If it's something you can do, it's just like when I told someone, I said, I love tailoring.
Yeah.
I love fashion. When I see people sew, I love it. I can go into a tailor and tell them, this is what I want. This is how I want you to do it. But don't tell me to go and learn it. I'll tell you, I don't have the capacity for it.
So by saying capacity, what exactly do you mean?
Like there's this strength, even when it's not working.
Yeah.
Because you have that strength
Love
on the
for
inside,
it
keeps pushing you.
Exactly.
But if you don't have the love, there is nothing. You don't even. The moment you get to the point that you are like, this thing is looking like it's not. I beg more, put on for one kind of face. Let's push it somewhere. I feel the capacity is the love you have for that thing. When you love something, no matter how it is, that's why they say love conquers all.
Exactly.
So no matter what, during the pain, you just like, if not that I like this thing, I will not continue with it. So I feel during the time he was going through what he was going through, he just felt I have passion for this.
Yeah.
I love it. So even if he's not going to make now, I know he's going to make someday.
Exactly.
So at what age do you think people should start going into learning skills?
Okay, I think to my own knowledge, I think it's nice people go in their early age, like, in their 20s, it's better. Because I have one worker that came to me. There's an elderly man, like man of 60, thereabouts. He came to me with the wife that he wants to learn. So I'm like, daddy, because I actually respected him. Like, I used to prostrate while greeting him. He said, no, I shouldn't worry. I said, there's no way you can learn this skill.
How do I send you a message?
There's no, how would you? Because there's no way you can learn without me sending you. You have to get some things, have to go to market to get, so that these are part of the learning.
So that I can,
So I thought, he said, I shouldn't worry, that I should feel free. And so I thought, there's no way. The wife still came back again. They came back the following day. They almost knelt down to beg me. So I thought, okay, if that be the case, no problem. So I took them in. It was really funny. Though the man was not really, he doesn't really have that strength, but he was the zeal.
Yeah, the zeal
and
is
the love, the
there.
passion for the work is just there. So I thought, okay. So I was actually teaching him gradually. Sometimes he would just come and sleep off. I had to go buy some things for him and eat. It got to a stage whereby he himself knew that this thing is not really possible. I can't continue. So he has to quit. But
So
the
age
passion
has
was
already
there,
affected.
but the
Exactly,
age,
the
has already,
age,
exactly. So I advise people to learn while they are young, so that it will help them, because then their brain is still sharp to to catch, and then the strength is still there, to run along with it. And it's best they learn while they are still young.
Even the Bible says, follow the Lord while you are young,
Yeah.
in your youthful
Something like
age. So that when you are old, you will not say, my waist is paining me, I cannot go and do evangelism.
Exactly.
Well, I feel now, for us to be able to cope unemployment as regards skills, we should start from the secondary school, in fact, primary school.
Exactly.
We have these young ones who are intelligent. And that's why I said most times parents are one of the major problems these children have.
Of course.
You see a child trying to amend your shoe, and the next thing you are saying, all the money I spent in private school, so your shoe you want to use it to do. So I think parents should be educated on these things, because when you see your child trying to do something in the house, it's not about you trying to say you have paid one money somewhere. It's for a child to go to school. It doesn't matter. Just like I have a little boy in my house. The mother came one day and said the school instructed that they should pick one thing they want to do. So some people were saying soldier, some said lawyer, some said like doctor. A career day, thank you. The boy came and said the mother should go and get him cardboard and marker, be paints. The mom said, I don't understand. You did not see anything to choose. It's to draw.
Oh.
So when the mother came to me and said, Mama, see your boy, see your boy. I said, what happened? He said, the boy, they said they should choose something for career day. He said he want to draw. I said, buy it for him. He said, Mama, you support it? Do you know how much you are paying for school fees?
Because he wants to be an artist.
I said, allow this boy. You can't force him to be what he doesn't want to be. That's why we have so many graduates who are not unemployed. Exactly. That's the major reason I said if you even look at the whole thing, it's not even about the government now. You see a child going to school, studying a particular course, and when you ask the child, tell you it's because my father said, my mother said.
I think a lot of Nigerians are on that table actually.
I studied mass comm. Out of 700 students, you can tell categorically there are a lot of them that cannot practically do the jobs of a mass comm student.
A lot.
They can write, they can give you history, they can give you practically nothing to write about. Why? Because they feel mass comm is the easiest. So a lot of them go into it. Some of them are like, their father said they should stop staying at home. Go to school, go to school. So I think we should start from the young ones. Let them be taught these things. Even schools are supposed to involve vocational works in their curriculum. But it's not happening. You can only see that in public school. I think my younger one attended public school, and that was even where he learned shoemaking. They were doing one holiday season, and the school decided that, okay, they should come and learn. And that was how he learned how to make shoes. Though he doesn't use it, but that was how he learned it. So beginning from the young ones, primary, then secondary.
It should be part of the school curriculum.
Yes, it should be part of the school curriculum.
So, talking about that, there's a particular school recently I went to. They called me. They had I think it was an end of year party, something like that. Though it was this very big school. So I went there and I spoke to the principal of the school. So that I'm going to come and showcase some of my skills to the students, the primary and the secondary. And then they loved the idea. And then when I came there, I brought my equipment, some of my equipment there with my workers. And then I was, they grouped themselves and I was explaining to them while I was constructing. I was giving them the room to know that, okay, aside from studying this particular course, this skills also is like a course that you can still study. So I brought everything to them. So I was actually teaching them, giving them the theory and the practical at the same time. Most of them were amazed. They were like, he's a shoemaker. How come he's so fluent? How come he's like this? How come? I said, I was once a student like you guys. So I actually came up with this, and then today I'm at it. Funny enough, I met one of my classmates there. What he was doing, I think he was one of the teachers who was teaching in the primary school, So he was like, boss, you are now saying, like, thank God, it's the Lord's doing, It's not really, but it's something to talk about. Like,
it's just, I think it's a mentality problem. Everybody thinks these kind of vocational, skills things are for illiterates. So because we look down on them, we tend to take the value off of them. So all the people that we have around are supposed to, put interest in all these things. Even people who have a talent, an inborn talent in them to do all these things, they shy away from them. Even the parents discourage their children from doing them and stuff like that. And this might be what will save the day at the end of the day.
And help curb unemployment.
And we could take this thing from the corner of the streets and create big industries with all these vocational skills, instead of looking down on them and taking them as if they are nothing.
We have companies like Nike, Puma, Adidas. These are companies that make shoes.
I remember Bata those days.
So all these, Clark, they are companies that make shoes.
But they are not.
They started from somewhere.
These companies are not really pushing the vocation out there. If just imagine what you did, going to a school and saying, "Let me teach these people."
Exactly.
Even if it's for the main time, let them just have an experience. Exactly. If a child is interested, goes home and say, "Mommy, I want to learn this thing," and the parent is understandable and say, okay, who do you want to learn from? You've just saved that child
You
from
saved the
unemployment.
child.
Exactly. You see?
I
That
think
is-
the mentality, that's why I said it's not even about we having the skills, the business part of it, the giving to the community part of it. And that is, in fact, you are more than the
amazing.
shoemaker.
That's amazing. That's amazing. That's
It's
a good thing.
it's so interesting to know that you can say, okay, it's not about me making the money now. It's about me helping,
Empowering
because
other
yes,
people.
empowering the young ones to know that you can do something meaningful with your life even as a student.
Even as a student.
Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing. So I do not know if the government have. Do you think the government have any parts to play in sanitizing the people, the citizens, so that they can be able to know, have an interest in acquiring vocational skills?
Yes, I think so, because the government actually had a lot to do about this, because if they can create more room for people to learn, of course most people want to learn, but they're looking at the capital.
Exactly.
They're looking at the capital. They're looking on how to, because if you go to some places that you want to learn a skill, they will definitely give you price tag that you have to pay this, bring this, before they can enroll your child. And the thing is, most parents actually have this in mind, because I noticed recently, most parents are actually trying to empower their children with skills, but some of them are being limited with finances. So I mean, if government can create room for learning, why they say, okay, there's a place here, there's a place where you can go and learn.
Exactly.
Of course, a lot of people will definitely want to learn.
Yeah.
Because let me put it this way, the most limiting thing that is limiting most Nigerians now is the money, the finances. That's one thing that is limiting most Nigerians. They really have a lot to do. They really have a lot to learn. They want to learn. Most of them want to learn, but they are being limited by the finances, by the capital rather. You understand?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
So if I bring my foundation to you now and say, okay, we are doing something, we want to help 20 students, how much you collect? You have to split it into 20. You have to collect 20%
No,
of.
the thing is,
And
I'm
make it more
not really
affordable.
after the money, per se. I mean,
I love that.
I have this, right when I was growing up, I have this passion for humans. That's why, because then I'm actually a church person. I like going to church, I like doing the evangelism thing. So I mean, I like it. I like impacting my fellow humans. Like when I see youth on the street, think about it. I mean, while I was growing up, I had friends that we grew up together. Most of them today, I mean, they are something else. I would say because maybe they wasn't given the opportunity, to have the skills or to learn
Or
something.
they just choose to.
So they were actually, the Bible said, an idle man is a devil's workshop, something like that. So they were actually idle. So the devil took advantage of them, and then today most of them are, something else. Like you see them on the street smoking and committing havoc on the street. You understand? So imagine if we have empowered them from childhood while they were growing
Yeah,
up,
that's true.
engaging them with something. They won't have the time to think of something like that.
Or to be on the street.
Or to be on the street, something like that. So that's just another thing. So if we can look for a platform for them where they can be learning aside from going to school, acquiring skills, I mean, it will be the world will even be a better place for us to live.
Yeah,
Because presently it's like they are recruiting more touts and more courties, and
Yes,
it's
everything is just,
in fact,
social media is even adding up to the whole problem.
in fact, you can just walk on the street at night, with your phone. You're scared because some guys will just come and boggle you up and then collect everything. I mean, it's something the government needs to look into, and let's.
Exactly.
You understand?
So what advice do you have for the youth?
Okay, the advice I have for the youth is they should stop saying, they think the only way they can survive is going into internet fraud. That's one thing, and that's the major problem of the youth today. I mean, there are money outside. There's money outside rather. In these little skills that the people look down on. This my job, shoemaking. Aside from you using it to make money, or using it to or constructing, you can actually have it as a knowledge. No knowledge is waste. If you have that knowledge about shoes, aside from you making shoes, you can still go and buy and sell. And with that, you to help you understand, know the quality difference between the good ones and the bad ones. With that, which if you learn, I mean, you can have the understanding about the good ones, the quality shoes and non-quality shoes. go to the market and purchase. I mean, people do business like that, and cool business. And then you buy from here and sell. It's still part of money. Just that most of our youth today, they don't want to work. They don't want to do anything stressful. They just want to
Wow.
sit at home and then get it. And it doesn't work like that. The Bible said, whoever is in haste to make success is not innocent. So that's just it. So I mean, I would advise them to get something. Doesn't I mean, just keep away this pride, and then go and get something doing. If you can start up something in just due time, you arrive at it. You arrive at it, definitely.
Wow. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Such a fantastic time. And from everything that we have heard, it is indeed very effective that vocational skills can be able to help and curb unemployment in our society. The graduates don't have to end up being jobless because there's an option. Just get a vocational skill and then you are good. Thank you so much for coming around, Mr. Francis. My co-hosts, it's an amazing time. Your knowledge is always, banging. My name is Karen Kennedy. Again, subscribe, right? Hit the notification button so that you can get notified every time a video is dropped. Okay? So like and share to all your friends and family and everyone you love, because this is very educating, right? Okay, so until next time, I would like to say gracias and adios.